What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And today we have another release reaction for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's videos. Today we have various brands to dive into. We should have some really good releases in store today, and I'm really excited for these. I hope you guys are as well. And without any further delay, let's get started. So like I said, we should have some really good release reactions here. I'm very excited for these. Not exactly sure what to expect, but I know we have various brands in here, and I'm really excited to dive into these. So I hope you guys are as well. And let's get started with these releases, everybody. So we're going to start right here. I believe we have some Avador models, so I'm really excited to take a look at these, and let's see what we have going for the 1-200 scale for Avador. Excuse me. Here we go. This one's probably going to be pretty popular. We have a Mexicana Boeing 757-200 November 762 Mike X-ray, and this in the San Juan Pueblo 2nd livery. Really like this aircraft. This will be a very nice one. Mexicana has some really cool liveries, and this is definitely one of my favorites from them. I know NG Models did this in 1-400 a couple years ago, so it's very nice to see a follow-up here by Avador in the 1-200 scale. So glad to get to see that, and that's going to be a really cool aircraft right there. Very nice. Following that, we have a DHL Boeing 757-200. This is Hotel Papa 2010 or 2010. Very nice aircraft right here. This is going to be another very popular one. Also another one that I think NG Models did quite a few years ago now, 3 or 4 years ago, in 1-400. So this is really nice to get to see 1-200. I'm sure many various collectors are going to be excited for this. I don't know if this is the aircraft that crashed or not, because I know there was a DHL aircraft that unfortunately had a accident. I thought it was in the Caribbean maybe, but I could be wrong on that. But still super nice to get to see this aircraft. I'm sure it'll be a pretty popular one. Following that, we have another 757. This is going to be the Presidential Republica by Argentina Boeing 757-200. This is Tango 01. I really like this aircraft. This has a nice simple livery. This is so funny. I mean, I know this is the third time that I'm going to say this, but NG Models has done all these on 1-400, so it's really cool to get to see them all followed up with 1-200 here by Avador about 3 to 4 years later in some cases. But this is a really cool model. I really like the livery on this one, and this is a nice simple aircraft, so a nice livery right here, and a very nice one right there, to say the least. And that is it for Avador. I think they have a really good set here, and they're really fitting a nice niche space. So really nice effort right there, and I'm very glad to get to see that. That's absolutely awesome right there. Following that, I also wanted to show you guys some new ones that I couldn't find an Easy Toys newsletter on, but we have some really cool ones here. If you want to go order these, the Midwest Model Store would be highly recommended. Great place to order your models. But here we have a new, or I don't know if you'd call it a new brand. I know they've had some molds with NG Models in the past, but nevertheless, this is Hygl Wings, which is very exciting to get to see these 5 aircraft that they have announced. I'm pretty sure this is their first official release, but I know they shared the A321 mold with NG, whether NG stole it or I'm not exactly sure how that worked. But nevertheless, as you guys can see, we have 5 really cool aircraft from them this month, and I'm very excited for these. We have a Starlux Airbus A321 Neo. Here's what the box looks like. Personally, I think this is a really nice aircraft to fit in there, and that'll be very helpful for anybody that's looking for this. I believe they're over in Asia, so really excited to get to see that. We also have an Airbus house livery Airbus A321 Neo, which is very exciting right there. I really like the box designs that they have going. I think they're quite unique, and a very unique angle in the CGI. You don't see that every day from model manufacturers, so that's really cool to get to see that right there. And then we have 2 Airbuses from Air Canada. These are going to be very exciting for our Canadian collectors. We have an Airbus A321 from Hygl Wings. Now, I'm definitely considering getting this one. I would like to see what it looks like, but as you guys know, I was talking about getting some more Air Canada mainline aircraft, and I did get the 737 MAX recently, but the A321 is also pretty prominent at my West Coast airports, and also could be good for great planes right over there, so maybe I'll get it. We'll see how it turns out, but I would be interested, to say the least, in that aircraft. The Air Canada Airbus A330-300 is also coming to the 400 scale this month. This will be another fantastic aircraft. Now, I believe NG Models either did, I know they did the Star Alliance, but I thought they did the normal one too. If not, this will be a perfect opportunity to get it. I don't know too much about Hygl's A330 mold, but I'm sure it's pretty good, so very nice. It is a little expensive right there at $56.95, but still a really cool aircraft right there, and I'm sure it's very nicely detailed. And we also have Air China Airbus A350-900 right here as well. This is Bravo 307 Alpha, and all the registrations are here on the box too. Really like that aircraft. Excuse me, a very popular one right there. I think it's going to turn out super well, and it looks like we have some sort of airport diagram as the background, which I think is really cool. So that's very nice, and I'm very excited for all 5 of these models to come out. I think they'll be really good, and I'm very excited to see what they have going with those aircraft. So a very nice release right there, and let me see if I can get us to our next article here. Newsletter, excuse me. Let's see what I can do here. Not going to be that one because we've already looked at that one, but it will be this InFlight one. So I'm excited to see what InFlight has going. There is 747 SP of sorts, it looks like. So let's see what we have going here. Very excited for this, and this should be pretty awesome. So let's see what we have going here, and a sneeze is coming, so I apologize in advance. All right, there we go. Sorry, guys. All right, here we go. NASA, nice. Sophia, United Colors, DLR, Boeing 747 SP November 145 Uniform Alpha Withstand. We're really excited for this aircraft. Of course, it's based upon the Battleship Gray livery that United had, which is really cool, but of course in the NASA Dara livery, or however you say that. So I think this is a really cool looking aircraft and a very unique one at that. I really hope to get more of these unique aircraft, especially in bigger scales like 1-200, but looking for the very sentimental ones. So very cool release right there. I think that's a very good effort right there from InFlight. Here's the NASA one right here. This looks really cool. November 747 November Alpha. This is a fantastic looking plane. I really like what NASA has going with all their elements. Very cool aircraft right here. And for anybody looking for a very unique aircraft, this is definitely your opportunity to get it. So a really cool one right here. And very pleased to get to see that right there from InFlight. Very nice set right there. Then we have some Herpa 1-72s. Here's a new aircraft. This is a German Aviation Corps Airbus EC665 Tiger Fando German training center aircraft. I don't know if that's the item number, the actual registration right there. I can't tell if the EC is the actual registration or the 58. I think the 58 is the Herpa item number, so I'm assuming that the tail number is EC665, or that's the aircraft type. But very unique aircraft. You can't really say it in any other ways. I'm assuming this is probably like $50 to $70 maybe. I'm not sure how expensive they're going to make this. 119, excuse me, my goodness. But it looks insanely detailed, I will say that, as you guys can see, from the propellers to the Tiger detail to the cockpit. I mean, yes, there is some significant detail. I'm sorry, I just wasn't expecting it to be quite that expensive, but that is surely a really nice aircraft, and for anybody looking for very particular models, that has to be one right there. A very cool one at that. So quite a few unique models start out our video today. I'm liking it. And then here we have some Herpa military models. Let's take a look at this in 1-200. So here we have I'm not even going to try the first word because I botched it every time, but this is a Eurofighter Typhoon something 74. I'm just not very good at pronouncing. You guys can see it. This is the Newburgh Air Base 60th anniversary livery, 31+01. Nice looking livery right here. I really like I believe that's a tiger on the tail. That's a really cool looking aircraft right there. I like the detail that they provide with that livery, especially with the white stripes that go across it. I think that's really cool. So another fantastic release from Herpa. They've done some really good ones recently. Very nice. Following that, we have a Swiss Air Force no rope F5E Tiger II. Very nice to get to see this here. This is the Swans livery, and this is the Ermin Air Base Juliet 3038. This is a really nice aircraft. I really want to get an F5 of sorts, really more military aircraft in general. I know I have the F-16 1-200, but I would not mind getting some more. So I'd really like to get this, or F-35 or something like that. But this is a really cool aircraft right there. I like the F5 a ton. So nice release right there. That's very nice. Following that, we have a Swiss Air Force no rope F5E Tiger II, and this is in the Vandelos livery. Hopefully I said that kind of right, but really neat looking tail right here, as you guys can see, in a nice plain aircraft. I really like these different tails, and I think that they are doing a good job choosing which ones to release. So good effort right there. That's really nice. Following that, we have the Swiss Air Force no rope F5E, another one. This is the Ducks. This one's a really cool one. It kind of looks like the cartoon. I'm forgetting what the show's called, but nevertheless, Donald Duck. It kind of looks like Donald Duck a little bit from the glance. But that's a really cool aircraft right there. I'm sure anybody looking for these various tail designs are going to be really happy to be able to particularly select which one they want. So that's really cool. Do we have another one? No, we have some new airliners for pre-order. Here's the Airbus A320-800 Neo. This is a brand new mold for Herpa 1-200. Very nice. And I think this aircraft looks really cool. The test registration, or whatever you want to call the registrations, Foxtrot, Whiskey, Tango, Tango, Oscar. I think this is a really cool looking aircraft. It'll be very helpful. Now, as far as I'm aware, Herpa's the first 1-200 manufacturer to have an A330-800 Neo mold. I think JC has a 900. Could be completely wrong on that. But this is really exciting to get to see the 800. Not exactly sure how many aircraft they'll be able to do with this, as there's not a ton of orders for these yet, at least, but I still think it's a really cool mold, and I'm sure they can do some nice planes with it. So very nice release right there. And then following that, we have a USAF C5A Camo Galaxy 670174 New York 137th Airlift 105 Airlift Group Stewart Air National Guard. Sorry, that was a long one to spin off right there, but that is a really cool looking aircraft. I really like the dark green, the light green, the I guess you can call this like some sort of like dark mustard color, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what the best naming for that would be. A really dark gold, maybe. Then you got some gray on there too. This is a really neat looking aircraft. I'm sure this one's going to come out really nice. So very glad to get to see that aircraft right there, and that's a really cool one in the military sector. Very nice. Here's the Emirates A380 Alpha 6 Echo Oscar Tango in the Dubai Expo be a part of the Magic livery. This is a pretty good mold. I think the Gemini one will come out better than this, which is kind of surprising to say, but I think it will. This is still a really nice aircraft though, and especially if the price is like maybe it's probably like 130 or 40. 167, excuse me. I did not expect it to be that high, but it looks like it has some pretty good aerials on it. So I kind of glanced. I didn't see the aerials on it. I didn't know if it had aerials or not because I thought Herpa had like 2 scales of 200, like how they do the detailing and everything. But this looks like a really nice proportional aircraft. That might actually be better. I apologize. I did not realize how good Herpa's 1 to 200 sector was on the A380. So my bad. It's hard to see from this angle that there's an antenna right here and everything. But really, I think this is a really good looking aircraft, and it's surely going to come out pretty nice. So if you guys are interested, definitely go pick it up. Excuse me. That's really nice. Here's the Lufthansa Airbus A321neo. This aircraft looks really nice. Delta Alpha India Echo Golf, and this is the plastic. So this is what I thought. I thought that this was going to be a plastic, but this one looks really cool despite the plastic. I'm sure this is probably like a 111, okay, but the detail looks really nice on that, and the proportions and everything, so I think they did a really good job on that aircraft. So that should be pretty popular for our European collectors. I think that'll be a really good one. So good job, Herpa, continuing to release some really nice aircraft. Here's a British Airways blue livery Airbus A320neo. This is Golf Tango Tango November Alpha in the Better World livery, and this one must not be plastic. I like the livery. This is a very unique livery. British Airways has always been known for really integrating colors into their liveries, and this is absolutely no exception to that principle. I really like the detail on this one. It's very nice. There's so many shades of blue. It's really cool, to be honest. So very nice aircraft, and for all my 1 to 200 collectors in Europe, this is a really nice month so far from Herpa for you guys. Here's an Etihad Airbus A350 1000 Alpha 6 X-Ray Whiskey Alpha. Really nice. I'm glad to get to see this right here. Etihad has a really cool livery, and I hope that Herpa does a good job representing that. This is a really nice aircraft, and I like all the detail that it provides. So very good release right there from Herpa. And following that, we have a Qantas Link Embraer ERJ-190 Victor Hotel Uniform Zulu Delta. This is a really rare example of when we get 1 to 200 planes kind of like this, because you wouldn't normally expect Herpa to do this, but I think Gemini Jets did this either a couple months ago or about to do it because they did it in 1 to 400. But I'm pretty sure they did this a couple of months ago in 1 to 200. So normally you're going to find the competition nowadays in the 1 to 400 sector, but this is a prime example of a 1 to 200 competition sector. So a pretty interesting aircraft at that, but I think it looks really cool. So good release right there from Herpa. Following that, we have a German Airways Embraer ERJ-190. This is Delta Alpha Zulu Foxtrot Alpha. Another fantastic release right here. Really getting in that Europe sector today. Very glad to get to see this aircraft. I don't know too much about German Airways. They're probably a low-cost carrier in Germany, if I had to guess. But I think this is a fantastic livery with the red and yellow, that is. Just a nice, simple livery, and you can't complain with that. Kind of a little bit retro style to it with the gray underbelly and everything. But a very nice retro aircraft at that right there. Very nice. And following that, we have another really cool one right here. Here's the, not even going to try the word. I think it's going to be something along the lines of Dutchy. Not trying, but this is the BA Fokker F100 Delta Alpha Delta Foxtrot Alpha. This is the Germany British Airways aircraft. This is another fantastic one. Now, I'm assuming that there's something that has to do with the land door livery was integrated into this, or land door livery became a thing because of this, because this seems pretty similar to it. I personally think this is a really cool retro aircraft, and I think that they did a very good job casting this. So looking good, and hopefully the actual aircraft turns out good too. Very nice. And that is it for Herpa. Very Europe-based release, but I think that was a really good one at that. So very nice right there, and glad to get to see all of those from Easy Toys on that newsletter. Nice work right there. Following that, we have some Fantasy Wing accessories and some new Gemini futures. Let's see. I don't know if I've seen these, but I'll give a brief reaction if I have, just to go over what we got here. Yes, okay, so these came out a couple weeks ago. So here's the Delta Braves World Series 737-800. This will be a nice aircraft for them to do. I think they'll do a good job on it, so glad to get to see that right there. Another Condor 757-300 though this time, so I'm glad to see that we're going to be getting some different Condors. I did not see that one before, so it looks pretty interesting, but it'll be interesting to see how that turns out in the 1 to 400. I thought the A321 turned out pretty fair, so hopefully this one will turn out good too. Here's the A330-900 Neo. This one also has the green stripes on it this time. I think this is another pretty good release for them. We're going to have so many A330s from Condor. At the end of the day, it's going to be unbelievable, but there we go. Condor collectors have to be happy about this. Air France Airbus A320. That's not even a Neo. That's just a 320. That's a fantastic idea there by Gemini. I think they're going to do pretty good on that. You obviously have the CFM engine on that, but it's still really nice to see some more Europe planes being done. They've had the A220 for Air France, and I don't know if they've had any others recently. I know they did 787 a couple of years ago, but it'll be nice to get a normal 320 out of Gemini going into the future. And here's a Lufthansa. This has the Love I think it's just H-A and S-A. I don't know why. I need to go back to first grade to try to learn how to pronounce some of the stuff, but has livery. I'm sorry that my pronunciation is so bad. I'm going to try to make improve on it. I just need to learn syllables again. I think it's my problem. Delta Alpha India November Yankee. I just don't know why with the pronunciation, why I cannot pronounce some of these words. But nevertheless, or it's Lufthansa, it's something like that, because I know I've seen this on the, there's another livery, I thought the 7478 word or something like that, that had this exact wording. But nevertheless, I hope you guys don't make fun of me too much, but this is still a really nice looking aircraft, and I like all the detail that it provides, so nice effort right there from Gemini. And then we have a Qantas Airbus A330-300, another fantastic release right here. Hopefully not too much wing flex. I think they can do a really good job on this aircraft, and I'm sure it's going to turn out really nice. So good job there by Gemini for releasing a Qantas 330. And we have some new Maxes. I don't even think I saw these. Let's take a look. I did see this B-52. This is going to be for the Mont Air Force Base. Very nice to get to see this right here. Glad that they're innovating on that B-52 mold, and I'm sure if you missed out on the Barksdale, this would be a great one to go along with your fleet. So that is perfect. And then following that, we have an Asiana Airbus A380. Why is that in the Max section? I cannot answer that question, but this is really cool to see. So now we've had Aviation 400, JC Wings, and I think Phoenix do this one, and now Gemini's also going to do it. So pick your Asiana A380 and run. That's what I'm going to say. But nice to get to see another A380 done by Gemini jets, and Asiana planes I think are pretty hard to come by. So really glad to get to see that right there. And new Gemini 1-200s, and here's the move mold. This is a RAAF 737 AWE&C Australian Air Force Airborne Early Warning and Control Programming Gemini Jets aircraft. Very cool one. I'm really eager to see how this part right here turns out. This is going to be pretty hard to cast in 200 scale, but I think that's going to look really cool. I'm very excited for that, and I have to give Gemini a bunch of credit. And we were talking about this on the Model Airliner forum the other day, and be sure to check that out if you haven't already. It's super fun on there. But we were talking about how Gemini has been innovating with the interactive series and everything. I think this is another great way for them to do it. And then the floats that they did with the Twin Otter in the previous release. So very nice job right there, and that should be a cool aircraft. So good job there by Gemini for releasing that. That's awesome. And here's the floats aircraft right here. This just got done. This is what I was just referencing. So really cool innovation. This is new right here. I like the floats on this. You also got the these are dolphins on there too. So I think this looks really cool, and I'm excited to see how that comes out in 1-200. That's going to be really cool. Here's the British Airways 787-8. This just got done in 400, so I'm excited to see it done in 200 here. This is a beautiful looking plane. I'm sure this is going to turn out really nice in the 1-200 scale, one that I would personally even like to buy. Very nice. Here's another Lufthansa. This is the I'm not sure if this is supposed to be the Lufthansa or if it's supposed to be the Condor. Either way, these both look really nice, and hopefully that these will get done. It's probably going to be the Lufthansa, but nevertheless, well, here, let's just see what they have on here. Should be the Lufthansa though, if I had to guess. Yeah, so it is the Lufthansa. Very nice to get to see that in the 200 scale as well, and that's going to look really nice. Here's I think they got it backwards. I think this was, is this the Condor is the question, or do they hyperlink the Lufthansa? Okay, I think they hyperlinked the Lufthansa twice, but I think they meant for the Condor A330-900 Neo to be this one, which looks really good. I think that'll be another great 1-200 aircraft. Here's a Korean Navy Poseidon Boeing P-8 737 raked wingtips aircraft. This is really cool. Glad to see them doing more P-8s, especially expanding outside the United States, and this is a prime way to do it. I think that this is a great looking aircraft and has some really good detail into it, and anybody in Asia looking for this aircraft I think will really enjoy it. So that's really cool, or really anywhere around the world. That's really cool. Here's another Qantas Airbus A330, this time in 200. I think again this one should turn out really nice, so I'm excited to see how they do on that aircraft. And Air France A320 with the CFM once again. That's going to turn out really nice in 200, so I'm excited for that. And here's a Flybe-8 Q400. Nice. That's going to turn out really cool. I'm really excited to see that. I would almost bet this will get done in 400 too, just like the BA 787-8 at some point. So definitely expect that, which will be really nice. We haven't had a Flybe aircraft in quite some time, so I think that this will be a really cool one, especially in the newer colors. And now we have our Fantasy Wings airport equipment that we were trying to get to. So let's see what Fantasy Wings has. I have no idea. I saw this briefly on some pictures, but I didn't really go much in detail on thinking about it. So here we have some UPS Gse Cargo Loaders. This is really cool, and I'm definitely interested in this. And I think they also did some FedEx stuff too. So I'm definitely interested to see how this turns out. This is $34 a set, but this would be really cool because I could orientate my generic stuff back to my international carriers if I were to get some of these for like Albuquerque and Tulsa and all those airports. So I'm definitely interested in getting the UPS and FedEx because I think they look really cool and really add that much more level of realism to a model airport. So glad to get to see this right here. And then it ends, which sucks because I really wanted to see the rest of those, but I think that maybe if we push the hyperlink it'll take us. Yeah, okay, so here we go. So here's all the new ones that we have. So we have the UPS, we have the FedEx, which looks really cool as well. Let's take a look at these. Looks really cool. You got the small FedEx title, so it is small differences, but again, when it's this small of a scale, it really does make that much of a difference. So really nice to get to see that. And then following that, we have DHL, which I think looks really cool, especially the color coded. That looks awesome. So excited to see DHL. And then we have the blank ones again. So if you're looking for just the blank ones, that's really cool. Then following that, we have the HKIA, which I'm assuming this is an airport. That would be my guess. Let's see. I'm thinking that's an airport, but I could be wrong, but that's really cool to get to see from Fantasy Wings too. And then we also, at the very top over here, have some catering trucks. So this is really nice. My only small complaint is it seems like this much GSC being that hefty of a price is a little unfortunate, but it is really, really good quality stuff. And I'm definitely interested in getting some of these right here as well. So we'll have to see, but here's all their other ground service equipment too. So I'd recommend getting that if you haven't already, which is really cool. So that is it for that section. Really good stuff right there, and Gemini is going to release some pretty good stuff right there, so I'm excited to see what they have going next. Following this, we have the new Geminis, which we just talked about in the other video, and here's some more InFlight. So let's take a look at what InFlight has going next. They're always releasing aircraft, so let's take a look. Pan Am 747SP to get us started with the polished stand, or that's polished with stand, November 536 Papa Alpha. Very excited to get to see this aircraft again. We've seen so many models from 1 to 400 get done, now they're transpiring up to 1 to 200, so this is a prime example of that, and I think this is a really nice looking aircraft, so very glad to get to see that right there, and that is such a pretty aircraft. Here's the United 747-100 November 155 Uniform Alpha. This is a really cool aircraft. I really like the small titles on this for different, which is quite cool. We've got several United Solbass planes, and they've had a nice mix of small titles and big titles, so I'm really excited to get to see this as well. I don't think we've had a 741 done for United in quite some time, so this is another fantastic aircraft. And InFlight, I'm really proud of their efforts, man. They've released some really good planes, so I'm very excited to get my first one soon, which will be the Chrome 757. Also very interested in the American A319, but we'll see from here. Following that, we have an Eastern 727-200 November 8866 Echo. Really cool aircraft. Now, I'm not sure what this decal is right here. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer view, because normally these pictures are pretty good. I can't see exactly what that is. Let's see if I can zoom in. I can't zoom into the picture, so I'm not exactly sure, but that's really cool. Now, I believe this is referenced as a hockey stick livery, which I really like the livery. I think it's nice and just simple. It looks really cool. So nice release right there, and I think that one's going to turn out super well from InFlight. Okay, following that, we have ITA Airways Airbus A319-111 Echo India Mike Whiskey. This is very, very, very ironic, as Gemini just did this aircraft as well. Now, I'm not sure if it would not surprise me if InFlight is attacking Gemini jets on purpose, because it seems as I don't know if these are officially licensed or not. I do not know that, but I'm sure somebody does. It would not surprise me if they are, though, so maybe it wasn't a coincidence, but it is kind of funny how Gemini literally just announced this, and the next one up will be the ITA Airways. Not completely sure on that, but I think this is going to be a good looking aircraft, and I would probably recommend this version as well, as I'm sure it's going to turn out really nice. Following that, we have Air Canada Airbus A340-300 in the retro colors. Very nice. Charlie Foxtrot Tango November Papa. Really cool. I think the coolest thing about this retro Air Canada livery is the leaf right here. I think it looks so cool. Really nice livery in general, and I think they did a really good job casting that, so fantastic job by InFlight right there. Then we have a Swiss Air Doubles DC-862 in the retro colors. This is Hotel Bravo India Delta Echo. Really, really nice aircraft right here. I think that this is one of the best retro looking liveries out there. You get the Swiss Air centered in the middle, which is really cool, and a fantastic release right here from InFlight200. I like that aircraft a bunch, man. That is really nice. So good job right there by Swiss. And then, or InFlight for doing Swiss, I should say. Then we have a Boeing House 757-200 right here, November 505 Echo Alpha with the polished. This is a stunning looking aircraft. This would be a really cool, just normal one to have if you're looking for just something blank to have, which is really cool. I think this aircraft's going to turn out really cool with the polish, and I'm very excited to see how they do on this aircraft. So InFlight, please do a good job on that one. Very excited for that. The pictures are so much smaller too. And how about a Hawaiian Air McDonnell Douglas DC-862 Hotel variant, November 3931 Alpha. Very nice. Hawaiian has a very rich history, and this livery definitely shows what that is all about. A really unique livery for the time, and this is a really cool aircraft. Now, I'm sure they probably flew these to the continental United States. Let's go with that. I think it's conjugate is the short way to say it, but nevertheless, flying to the 48 states, I'm sure that's what they used it for. So fantastic airplane right there. I really like the livery. That's a beautiful plane. Iberia McDonnell Douglas DC-863 right here. Echo Charlie Bravo Sierra Delta right there. Livery has not changed too much, to be honest, over the years. I think this is a great way to demonstrate it, though, on this Douglas DC-8. And InFlight really knocking out these DC-8s. So nice to get to see all these, and I think they look really good. So good job right there by Iberia. from InFlight200. And that is it for InFlight this month. A fantastic set, really nice, a variety of retro planes and a couple of newer ones as well. I'm very excited to see which ones of these turn out good, but I'm hopeful that they'll do a good job on it. So nice job right there by InFlight200. Following that, we have some new Phoenixes. I'm very excited for these. I did hear a little bit of chatter about these, so I do know some of them. I believe there's 2 really cool Fedex planes in here, so very excited to see what Phoenix has up this month, and let's see what they got going. Very nice. Let me see if I can get this to stay up there, because sometimes it likes to glitch out. I'm going to try that is. I don't know if you need to like push in or what fixes it, but I've been trying to push some. There we go. Okay. So here's the new Phoenixes. This should be for November. Really excited for these, and these should be pretty good. So let's take a look at what we got. A&A green on the pond, Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner, Juliet Alpha 871 Alpha, Future Promise livery. Very cool livery you get to see. I personally didn't even know that this was out there, but I think this is really cool. I'm sure this is probably promoting the environment if I had to guess. So this is a really cool looking plane, and for anybody looking for a special A&A, that might be the one for you. Very nice. Following that, we have a Scoot Pokemon Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner 9 Victor Oscar Juliet Juliet. Really cool right there to get to see Pikachu and all those applicable characters. I think this is a really nice looking aircraft, and Scoot's quite an interesting airline, and they would be the ones to do something like this, I feel like. So there you go. Looks really nice right there from Phoenix. Following that, we have a Lufthansa Cargo Farewell McDonnell Douglas MD-11 freighter. Really nice aircraft right here. Delta Alpha Lima Charlie Charlie. I thought about getting this for a while, but then I saw they were going to get retired, so that's what I put there. But really nice decal right there. I think this is a really nice aircraft, and for anybody that really likes Lufthansa aircraft, especially their heavies, this is definitely one for you. Very nice. Following that, we have it right here. There it is. The FedEx McDonnell Douglas MD-11 freighter, November 614 Foxtrot Echo in the old purple livery. I thought it was in the normal livery, so that's why I was confused, but that makes sense why there was so much talk about that. That is a pretty airplane. There's going to be several collectors that are all over that. Definitely interests me. It definitely sparks my interest for sure. I'll definitely consider it pending how Phoenix does. The other reason that really sparks my interest is I don't have an MD-11 from Phoenix. Personally, I didn't even know that they had the mold because they don't use it a ton. But nevertheless, or I probably saw it at some point. I just didn't register off the top of my head. They have the mold. So it would be, or what am I talking about? It's literally right there. Some MD-11s hit different, I guess. But I've seen them do it in the past, but I guess when you think about it in a plane that you actually would consider buying, I guess is one of those deals. So I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes, but this FedEx aircraft looks really cool, and I would really enjoy getting this. So very nice effort right there from Phoenix. Very nice. Okay, here's the Lufthansa Cargo Natural Beauty Boeing 777. This is the F1 hotel variant with the white body. Really cool aircraft to get to see. This is literally a perfect custom opportunity if you're looking for one to do. The Phoenix mold's really nice. This is a stunning looking aircraft. I really like just how simple it is. Very cool plane, and I'm sure that one's going to turn out really well. That's Alpha 7 Bravo Foxtrot Golf. Very nice. FedEx Boeing 767-300 November 277 Foxtrot Echo with the 100th Boeing sticker on it. Very cool. So really nice to get to see this. This does spark my interest a little bit because I do have the corporate one, but it doesn't have aerials on it. But I don't know too much about the 767 mold from Phoenix outside the primary I have, which turned out pretty good. So this definitely sparks my interest a little bit. It does have that decal though. I don't necessarily need 2 of them, but it would be kind of cool to have one with aerials. So maybe I'll consider that, but I'm sure Gemini will go back around and do another set of these here in the future. So we'll have to see, but definitely a very cool one at the very least, especially if you're running a Memphis or Indianapolis or have like a Los Angeles that needs a couple of these. So very cool right there. Alrighty, Singapore Airbus A340-500 making it in here. 9 Victor Sierra Golf Bravo with the leadership sticker probably is my guess, but nevertheless, this is a very neat looking aircraft. I didn't even know Singapore had A340-500s. I think that delivery turned out really well in this aircraft, and this is another very cool A340 for looking for one. Phoenix definitely knocks out really cool A340s, and this is no exception to that. Very cool aircraft right there, and I'm very glad to see Phoenix doing that one. Following that, we have gosh, I cannot talk today. Nippon Air Cargo Boeing 747-8 freighter Juliet Alpha 17 Kilo Zulu. Very cool to get to see this right here. Nippon Cargo, I think, is a really cool carrier. I think they have a bunch of very cool planes. I think I've seen a couple of them in the past, but this is a very nice looking airplane, and I'm sure that this one's going to come out really well right there from Phoenix. So very glad to get to see that, and that is absolutely awesome right there. Okay, a Zip Air Tokyo Boeing 787-8 right here. This is Juliet Alpha 86 826 Juliet. Very cool to get to see this right here. Zip Air, I don't know too much about this brand, but I think they're quite cool. I like their livery. It's quite unique, especially detailed design, and then having your brand titles underneath the cockpit or I'm sorry, how about the normal windows and the cockpit windows, I guess, if you want to go there. But a very neat livery right there, and I think this is pretty cool. So glad to get to see this right here from Phoenix. And here we have a high fly. I think it's just Matla or Mala, something along those lines. Airbus A340-300, 9 Hotel Tango Quebec Zulu. Another fantastic looking plane. This has a really cool, what appears to be a tiger on the tail, which is quite nice. I don't know too much about high fly. I did get to see A330 from them, which is really cool in Dallas about how many years ago? Almost 2 years ago at this point. So glad to get to see this right here released from Phoenix, and this is a very cool plane for anybody that might be looking for such a unique aircraft. Pretty unique, I should say. Another South African A340. This time's going to be a 300 right here from Phoenix. Sorry, I'm trying to get on my, all of you, sometimes after you don't see these for a while, it takes some time to get back going with the phonetic alphabet. But this is Zulu, Sierra, Sierra, X-Ray, Foxtrot. Some of these patterns can get kind of tricky at times. This is very nice to get to see now. They just did the 600, which is very cool to see that they're following up with the 300. Personally, I think that these are all very cool aircraft, and I'm glad to see more, I guess now, pretty retro planes getting done here by Phoenix. So nice to get to see that right there. Air New Zealand 747-400, nice. Zulu Kilo Sierra Uniform Hotel. That is a very nice release right there. That is probably the first livery that wore it for the 747-400, it's my guess. That is a very cool looking airplane. I did not know Air New Zealand had a livery like that with the kind of teal color with the dark navy and then the gray underbelly as well. That has got to be a really cool aircraft, and for our collectors in New Zealand and probably some Australian collectors or anybody else interested in this, this has got to be a really cool plane right there. Very glad to see that from Phoenix. That's a great one. That's a great choice right there. And there it is, the Air New Zealand Black Airbus A321 Neo Zulu Kilo Oscar Yankee Bravo. Was just talking about this with some friends from Australia and New Zealand the other day. This is a very cool aircraft right there. NG's going to be doing it too, but I think the Phoenix one's going to be quite helpful to say the least. So I'm very glad to get to see that aircraft right there, and that's a really, really nice aircraft choice right there. Very nice. I love the all black Star Alliance. That's such a cool plane. I'm really glad to get to see that right there from Phoenix. And here we have I'm not even going to try, I keep botching it every time I do, but I think it's not even going to try. It's Airbus A320 though. Bravo, or Hotel Bravo, Juliet Lima Tango, if I could even talk today. Another great release from Phoenix right here. I really like the livery right here. I think it looks really cool with the nose design. You don't quite see something like this, and the tail is also very unique. I think it's like let's say something like that. I wish I could talk. I need to just put on text-to-speech for you guys every time I can't pronounce a word. But nevertheless, really cool livery right there, and that looks really nice right there from Phoenix. Here's an on upon Boeing's 777-200ER. This is Juliet Alpha 745 Alpha, and this is in the something livery. It's all in their language, so I'm not exactly sure. Let's see if I can get a better picture here, and I would be able to tell a little bit better. It says this one's a pre-order, which is kind of interesting. I thought they were all pre-orders, but anyways. Some sort of show, maybe, I'm not sure. There's some sort of girl up here on the front of the fuselage of what it looks like. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. I guess what I could do, maybe this is the livery right here. That's my guess. It's something along those lines. Not exactly sure. I could look up the translation, but this is still a very good looking aircraft right here. I like the livery. It's very festive, I would say. It looks kind of festive to me. So a nice looking aircraft right there, and I'm sure that they're going to do a good job on it. China Airlines, I'm pretty sure this is Pikachu. I'm pretty sure that's what we got here. Pokemon Airbus A321 Neo Bravo 18101. Why one of these would interest me getting a Pokemon livery is just because they're pretty unique. You don't see these done in the US very much, so it'd be kind of cool to go into Asia and get one of these aircraft like this. I do have the Peach special, but it would be kind of cool to go over the, or if I said Europe, I'm sorry, Asia is what I meant, and get a plane like this, whether it's like what Skymark 737 or this China Airlines A321 Neo, or even like the Scoot that we saw earlier. So this is another very cool aircraft, and I think Pikachu is pretty cool, so it'd be nice to get to see that right there. And glad that Air China Cargo is getting it on their aircraft, which I think it looks great in that picture. Credit to all the respected photographers, by the way. Looks good. Lufthansa Airbus A320-900, and another prime example of getting multiple iterations. Clean tech flyer again. Wow. Okay, so NG's done this one. I thought maybe one other brand may have, maybe JC Wings or Aviation 400 announced this, but now Fedex is jumping in on it. So not surprised right here, but this is Delta Alpha India Victor Delta, and literally, especially for our heavy collectors, if you're looking for multiple iterations of planes from Europe or Asia in most cases, you're probably going to get them. So Aviation 400, Fedex, JC Wings, you name it, they have all done it at this point. NG even. So really nice aircraft right here, and glad to get to see another clean tech flyer. You have plenty of options if you're looking for one. And that'll do for the Fedex releases. I think this is a really cool set. The Air New Zealand was super cool, I thought, but big set too. This was quite a few aircraft. But the Fedex, probably my favorite, honestly. I'd like to get that. That's a really cool plane. So great release right there from Fedex. I wish they would have had maybe a touch more variety, but there was plenty of it in there. I guess just more like, I don't want to say like more US stuff, but I guess like maybe a couple more like South Americas or something would have been cool. But nevertheless, here is our final set for the video. I'm excited to see what we got going here. I'm not exactly sure what we have. Gemini's. Okay, we've actually looked at all these. You guys saw these in the previous video. Check it out if you haven't already. But a really good set right there. I thought there was something. Oh yeah, one Skymarks. Okay, here we go. So here's some Skymarks. We got a Beluga right here, which looks really nice. And let's see if we have any others. I think the page cut off. I think we have these three is what it's looking like. So we have this Beluga, which looks really nice. A 747-400 for $96. That looks pretty cool. Especially considering that the it has gear and the door opens, which is really cool. So that really sparks my interest. That's a really cool plane right there from Skymarks. I think that's a fantastic looking plane. And we also have a really cool PA Poseidon, which is really cool. This is a U.S. Navy one, 442 that is, and that's a great looking aircraft right here. And I'm just looking at some of the Skymarks releases since we don't get to look at them all the time. I really want this to stand with Cancer, man. I know it's so expensive, but man, that would look so good in the collection. At least this one, at the very least, I'd like to get this one. But we have some new ones like the Envoy Retro, the Breeze, 2 Breezes, that is. Looks like we have some various other ones here. I like that 767 from Eric Canada. I forgot they were getting that. But some really cool ones throughout here, and Skymarks has some really good stock right there. So that's very nice. So that will do for today's release reaction. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Really nice set of aircraft. Feel free to let me know in the comment section which one you guys are thinking about getting. And ultimately, this was a really good set. Definitely a couple that interest me here for sure. I'm really pleased with the efforts that were provided in this release. And I'm excited to see releases, I should say. I'm excited to see where we progress from here. We should have an NG Models release coming soon. So definitely expect that on the way, probably within the next 2 weeks or so. And then we'll probably be jumping with Gemini for another 5 weeks or so, but that'll be back before we know it. And then I'm sure we'll have some more JC Wings releases, probably some more InFlight200s, maybe some Hobby Master. It's been a couple weeks since we've got those, so probably expect some Hobby Masters too. But really good stuff. Would highly recommend checking all this stuff out. We have some very good releases in throughout here. I also expect some Panda models too, so very exciting stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and really excited for all the upcoming releases to come. Hope you guys are excited for as well. And with that, that will do for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process, do what you love, and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.